With billions of stars and planets out there, intelligent life should be everywhere, right? So, where are they? Join me as we look at one of the biggest questions in modern science today. Why haven't we found aliens yet? It seems that there should be so many civilizations out there that are far more advanced than us. With 100 billion Earth-like planets out there in the Milky Way, it seems statistically impossible that we are alone. And with most of those planets being or having the capability to have multiple moons, that number goes up to 400 billion. That's 400 billion potential homes for alien life. If you take a step back and think about all the science fiction movies and TV shows that you've watched over the years, chances are the images that come to mind are of little green men with antennas on their heads, or maybe human-looking people from distant planets. The truth is that these depictions of what an alien might look like could not be further from the truth. Take a look at this image. This may not look like much, but what you are actually looking at is a representation of one of the oldest known fossils in the world. The thing is that it is not a fossil of a dinosaur or some other extinct animal that we are familiar with. It's actually a microorganism. Microorganisms can take on many shapes, including spheres, spirals, and rods. But if you look closely at the edges of this spiral shape, you will see that it has a distinctive striation running along it. This striation is proof that the microorganism was once alive. But the thing is that microorganisms don't just pop into existence. They evolve and reproduce just like any other living thing. Now, I know what you're thinking. This has nothing to do with aliens. And while that may be true, it does give us some insight as to how long intelligent life may have been around. If you look at the history of life on Earth, you can see that it took about 3 billion years for complex organisms to evolve. Now, that doesn't mean that intelligent life would have taken another 3 billion years to evolve. It just means that it likely didn't happen overnight. If we were to take the average lifespan of a star, it's approximately 10 billion years. That's a lot of time for intelligent life to evolve and flourish. Yet, we haven't found any signs of it. This is known as the Fermi Paradox. Italian physicist Enrico Fermi was trying to figure out why, given the age of the universe, the fact that there are so many stars out there, and the possibility of there being multiple Earths, why haven't we found any signs of aliens? To put things into perspective, the Milky Way galaxy is roughly 100,000 light-years across. In order to measure the age of our galaxy, astronomers estimate the rate at which it rotates and then divide it by 2. This gives us a rough estimate of 200 billion years. That's a lot of time for intelligent life to evolve and even travel to other parts of the galaxy. Again, we haven't found any signs of it. But it's not just the vastness of space that makes finding aliens so difficult. There's also the issue of communication. We know that in order for two civilizations to communicate, they need to be close enough together and have a way of communicating that works. Even if there are multiple civilizations out there, chances are they wouldn't know how to contact each other unless they were close enough to do so. For example, if there was a civilization on a planet like Mars, chances are we wouldn't even know about it because it's just too far away. But the fact that we haven't found any aliens yet doesn't necessarily mean that they do-ent exist. What if they're hiding? Now, before I get too deep into this topic, I want to say that there is no concrete evidence to support this claim. However, there are some theories that suggest that aliens may be hiding from us for one reason or another. Let's start with the most obvious. What if they don't want to be found? Take a look at our own history. When Europeans first arrived in the Americas, they brought with them diseases that devastated Native American populations who had never even seen a Spaniard. In Africa, Europeans unleashed the horrors of slavery on millions of innocent people. And in Asia, European powers carved up countries and ruled them like they were their own personal fiefdoms. The point is that humans have a long history of doing bad things to each other. And if aliens are anything like us, they probably don't want to be found. But what if they're not hiding from us? What if they're hiding from something else? Take a look at the skies above Los Angeles on May 1960. At the time, the city was in the midst of a heat wave. Temperatures had been in the triple digits for days. Then, suddenly, a massive swarm of fireballs appeared in the sky. Thousands of people witnessed this event, and many were terrified. Was it a sign of the apocalypse? An alien invasion, or something else entirely? While there's no consensus on what these fireballs were, there is one theory that's gaining some traction. Some experts believe that they were actually pieces of debris from a Soviet satellite that had exploded. This isn't just a random guess. There are actual satellite records that show that a Soviet satellite entered the Earth's atmosphere on May 1960. Could these fireballs have been pieces of that satellite? Maybe, but here's where things get interesting. The United States government didn't know anything about this satellite until after the fireballs had appeared in the sky. The Soviets had kept the launch of the satellite a secret, which makes you wonder why they were doing that in the first place. Could it be possible that the Soviets knew that the satellite would survive re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere, and that it would break apart and rain down fireballs over Los Angeles? Maybe, but there's another theory that's even more interesting. What if the satellite wasn't a satellite at all? What if it was a spaceship? Now, I know that this sounds like the plot of a sci-fi movie, but hear me out. What if the people on board the spaceship had realized that the Earth was inhabited by humans and decided to hide? Maybe they thought that humans weren't ready to know that there were other intelligent beings in the universe and that it would be better if we didn't find them. Maybe they came in peace, but we didn't welcome them the way that they expected. And so they decided to hide. If that's the case, it would explain why we haven't found any aliens yet. They're hiding from us, but it doesn't explain why they would go to such lengths to hide. And that's where things get really interesting. In 1977, radio astronomers picked up a strange signal from space. It was coming from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius. The signal was only 50 strong, but it was definitely artificial in origin. It wasn't a natural phenomenon like a supernova or a black hole. It was a man-made transmission. The problem is that we don't know who made it. Some experts believe that it may have come from a civilization of aliens that are hiding from us. Maybe they sent out a transmission into space only to have it intercepted by a human radio telescope. Maybe they were trying to contact another civilization when they realized that there was a planet inhabited by humans and decided to hide. Or maybe, just maybe, they were trying to warn us about something. This isn't just a random occurrence either. In 1961, an astronomer named John G. Eddy published a paper in which he proposed that the sun goes through cycles of increased activity. He called these cycles modulation events, and according to him, they occur every 200 years or so. During these events, the sun's corona releases bursts of plasma that bombard the Earth's atmosphere. This causes the ozone layer to thin, which in turn allows more harmful radiation to reach the surface of the Earth. If this is true, then we are currently in the middle of one of these modulation events. And if it is, then it's possible that this could be why we haven't found aliens yet. You see, if intelligent life exists out there, then it's likely that they are just as curious about us as we are about them. But during a modulation event, the amount of radiation reaching the Earth's surface increases by orders of magnitude. This could make it difficult for them to study us without being detected themselves. There are some astronomers who disagree with Eddy's claims, but there is still a lot that we don't know about the sun and its effects on the Earth. It is possible that these modulation events are real and that they are one of the reasons why we haven't found any aliens yet. And that's just one of the theories out there. There are others that claim that aliens may be hiding because they do and want us to know how advanced they are. Maybe they're hiding because they do and want us to know that we are alone in the universe. Or maybe they're just hiding because they do and want us to know that they're there at all. The truth is that we simply don't know. We haven't found any aliens yet, but that doesn't mean that they don't exist. It's possible that they're out there watching us, waiting for us to make the first move. Or maybe they're hiding from us for one reason or another. What do you think? Are aliens real? And if so, why haven't we found them yet? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.